trying to get it up to temperature. It's going to be a while on ethanol, but what up, everybody? That coolant takes forever on ethanol to warm up. But I've got everything on, headlights, everything. Alternator on, 13.4 volts. I'd like it to be a little higher, but you know, I've got headlights on, every damn thing. Oh. Gas pedal responsive, working well. Yes, I was able to pull the mount to get the freeze plug in. So now I'm just trying to heat cycle it for the first time, get some heat in it. If you guys, I don't know if you guys can even hear me or not over this thing. There's a dump truck muffler. But look at that oil pressure. That oil pressure gets wild. It's more than we've ever had. I guess I could shut the fans off to get it to heat up a little quicker, but little spot we got to fix there in the fueling, no big deal. Woo! That will help. Yeah, revving it up a little bit. Yeah, but it's lean on decel, so that's not really a big deal. It's pulling fuel out when you're off the throttle. I mean, that's not the end of the world. It's just something that maybe one day we'll get to and, you know, make a little nicer. But idling good. It won't read lambda. I can switch it to lambda if I wanted to, but we don't read lambda over here. That's working well. Oh. So yeah. I don't even know that we're ever gonna get this thing up to temperature. Let me shut the fan off for a second. I kicked everything on because I wanted to see what battery voltage was looking like. I'd love to be more in the 14 range, but with everything on, under load. No big deal. Oh, the Nova is back. Back like crack. So I still got a couple more things to do. I still have to I just got to double check some stuff, like nut and bolt check that I went through. And then I think the shift linkage is right. I may have to pull the plate off the side of the trans because the shift linkage doesn't want to go all the way into the hole. And I don't think it's an alignment problem. I think my buddy was telling me that they stamp out those holes in the steel. He's like, so just check it, make sure there's no little burr in there or anything. I kind of feel like that's what's hanging this up. But I think as far as adjustment goes, we're pretty well on and good. Yeah, shutting those fans off brought the temperature up a little bit. bit with it being warm. But if you guys remember, this is the L33 that I put together that that we put new bearings in. The thing that I like is when you get up to like you know 4,000 RPM. I've seen as high as 80 psi, so it's rising really fast. And it's rising well with RPM. Like here, I'll show you. Just give it a little. You know what I mean? Just a little bump ski there on the throttle, and the oil pressure's going up. So I am hearing a little bit. I don't know if you guys can hear it every once in a while. A little offbeat popping and stuff. But I also looked at the fuel, and number one, the fuel was damn near empty, which is a good thing. But also, it's E85, and I left this thing down a lot longer than I thought it was going to be. Like, this thing was apart a lot longer than I thought it was going to be. So, this is what it is. Put some new fuel in there. Even the fuel I had didn't come out of a sealed, it wasn't brand new. It was a sealed container, but it wasn't brand new. So, I think I might, matter of fact, I probably will now. I mean, I'm going to go take a look at everything. Just while we're trying to get the first heat cycle in it. It does sound quite a bit better now that we're getting some heat in it and it's cycling. Some Ignite Red. No, I'm probably just going to get straight up gas station E85 because race fuel is expensive. Let the bearings heat and form. Yeah, we're not gonna do that. We're gonna go out and make passes because that's how we break shit in around here. Now let me hit us up with a little lubricity in the E85. Just because I don't know. Usually I put it right in the 5-gallon pail when whenever I open them, but seeing as it's been a while, you know, I don't really remember. I should have, but where are we up temperature wise now? I kicked that fan back on and now cooling temperature won't go. Now it's 154. Yeah, for that high pressure on the oil, yeah. I don't know that we need to just yet, but I'm definitely going to keep an eye on it. We may run a restrictor in the oil feed line. We'll just have to wait and see. We'll have to see how it, you know what I mean, how things happen and how they progress. Just kind of is what it is. It's a pretty chilly day today. Let's see. Manifold air temperature, yeah, manifold air temperature is only up to 104. Love your channel, thank you. Do you have a thermostat? I do not have a thermostat in this car, which is also not helping us get up the temperature any quicker. Right now we're at 160, 161. To sell one of the Camaros. I'm trying to sell the white one because I'd like to get started on the other one. Where's the temp? It's not super cold. I don't know. It's maybe in the 40s, 50s today or something like that. It's not that bad. So, but we are. I mean, I'm some nut and bolt check away, really, and getting up with some friends for some help for. Letting go of the button once or twice, shaking it down a little bit, seeing what it does. It sounds healthy. Oh, and I'm still going to do a catch can setup for the vent, for the crankcase pressure. I still got to figure that out, but. Yeah, battery voltage is good. We're up to 172. 175. driving. Least amount of crankbed. Yeah, we're trying to get all the crankcase pressure out of it. The thing is ever since, even with the white Camaro, ever since I started running E85 like that, these things just never, you know, don't get me wrong, the temperature, you know, gets up after a pass, but there's times I drive it through the staging lanes, you know, into the starting line, do a burnout, make a pass, and when I'm ready to make a pass, it's still only 160, 170, like, you know, the E85, look, see, now it's down to 171 again. The E85, I don't really, and it's got a mechanical pump, so, I mean, here we let it run a little bit. Whereas the Camaro had an electric pump, so I could shut the electric pump off and kind of raise it up if I wanted to. And then this one here, we've got just the regular truck style mechanical pump on it. Let me see some. It's weird. It's not releasing. I gotta check on that. Oh, because it's not spring loaded. Huh. But my Pro Brakes, I don't know. We'll have to look at that. But I just hooked the trans brake up. No, it's not broke. It's just I just hooked the trans brake up and have been starting functions checks, that kind of stuff. So this is all just normal part of, hey, everything, all that kind of schnet. So feeling good. But like I was saying, this one's got mechanical pump, as where the Camaro had an electric pump, so I could shut the electric pump off. This one is mechanical, so it's just running all the time. I mean, not that there's anything wrong with that. It's just, it's going to take a while to get this thing up to, I mean, to get it up to 200, I pretty much feel like I'd have to damn near drive it around and drive it through traffic and whatnot. It just takes a lot on the ethanol, which is a good thing because it runs a little cooler, you know. No, I don't have a thermostat. I could put a thermostat in it. That would probably help a little bit. But I don't know. I haven't done extensive testing and everything, like, to see, does it run better at 210 degrees? Does it run better at 170 degrees? You know, coolant temperature wise, I don't know yet. So, and I adjusted the throttle, and I got to get a little more tightness on them bolts. So we'll see. It's, you know, it just all comes with time. You won't be running. No, I bet you it still runs cool. It's, I'm trying to tell you, when I had it in the Camaro and I was running similar setup, the only thing is this one's also aluminum block, so it should heat soak. So once the heat gets in it, it should stay in it. But even in the summer, you know what I mean? It was, the E85 was running really, really pretty cool. So, oh, all right, so we got that. See, just like that, now I gotta go through everything and just make sure that I don't have any, you know, any leaks or nothing. Let me see. Nope, there's a little spot of oil up underneath of there, but that was already there. Water we fixed. I was able to jack the motor up and kind of like rotate it, take off the motor mount, take everything apart, get the freeze plug in there, boom, got freeze plug in, got it all set back down. Everything was good. So then after that I put water in it, and we did have a little bit of water seepage out of the water pump, but you know, a couple turns on the bolts, just make sure they were all snug again, and that was good. And now that it's heat cycled, we can, you know, check on bolts and make sure they're all still good. I still got to check the trans fluid level. I brought a piece of cardboard out here so I could make a list, but I never found a marker. to make a list with. And then I will probably even preemptively, not even like, I didn't even look at them, but I don't even want to look at them. I'm not going to. Probably just order some new fuel filters, and we'll get those on the way so I can get those replaced. Yeah. Yep. Is that a wrap or paint? No, that's the original paint. That's the original paint. I don't have a Malibu. That's the original paint that somebody had primered over, and then when we sanded the primer down, there were spots where that's a OG bird shit. That is legit stuff right there. Somebody had already sanded down to the bare metal, so we rusted it with hydrogen peroxide and salt. You spray it and it rusts instantly, and then we rattle can clear coated over it. So that is the original gold of Fool's Gold. How hot you think that thing is? I don't know if y'all can see the heat coming off of it. Wastegate, not hot. Exhaust, actually not that hot. So I do still, still got to figure out. Let me not open that radiator. Yeah, that pipe is a little warm. It just is what it is. I could try to sneak the radiator hose under the inlet of the turbo, but then when I do that, it gets really kind of close to that crossover I have for the exhaust. So I don't know. What I really should do is I should go ahead and pull that neck out and weld the 16 AN in there, like I had on the Dodger, weld a 16 AN, and then I can just kind of I could probably do a 90 straight off of here, right over here, weld it in, all that kind of stuff. So, but we're working. I'm gonna get up with my buddies now and see. I know we've got a race this weekend, so I know they want to go testing. Obviously, I want to go testing. I would like to test like multiple times this week, but I know I need to get fuel, and considering I don't feel like buying race fuel anymore, I want to go get like just regular old 85. We don't have that in Delaware, so I'm gonna have to get like a 55-gallon drum and probably throw it in the bed of the C10, drive somewhere 45 minutes an hour, whatever, get that thing filled up, and then kind of go from there. And then I can come home and fill up my individual 5-gallon deals from there. What heads did I put on it? These are 862. It's just it's an aluminum 5.3 heads. We had a set of LS1 heads that I bought with this motor, but we decided to save that because we knew that this Texas Speed short block was coming. Boom, boom, boom. So we knew that Texas Speed short block was coming. So we're like, well, let's hold on to the LS1 heads because those are going to be the best factory flowing head we have in the case that we don't end up with an aftermarket set of heads on that block. We might even send those heads off to get ported and that kind of stuff. Glad you're back up and running. Yeah. Do you test the pump E85? I do not, generally. I need to get I don't have a tester. The reason I don't have a tester is because I was buying X85, VP X85, so there was no need to test it, But if I'm going to start messing with pump E85, I need to go ahead and buy myself a tester and do that. So, any weight reduction on the Nova yet? Well, aluminum block LS for one. So, in comparison to the last motor that was in here, the 6.0, it should be 100 pounds lighter than that. And then in comparison to big block, who knows? Plus Holly tells me, yeah, I don't have a flex fuel sensor because we never mess with that. Like, I didn't feel the need for a flex fuel sensor. I understand and probably work perfectly, but you're going to get a new set of the snake eaters. So what's funny, and a lot of people don't know, and probably, you know, probably aren't going to know, but I will tell you guys, the Snake Eater Pro Series all came from this brain up here. So I was actually the one that designed the packaging for them, the marketing behind it, and all that kind of stuff. So a lot of people, like, it's funny, people are like, well, what do you do? Like, what do you do for a living? And blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, well, like, that's part of it. You know what I mean? So, yeah. So, but needless to say, I had Snake Eater Pro Series injectors before anybody had Pro Series injectors. Just because, like I said, because I've been working with it. We've done a lot of the marketing, and there's a lot of graphics and images and stuff, and a lot of stuff that you guys haven't even seen yet, but you will see a long time. You know, that all came from us. So I'm really excited for that. I think a lot of people are going to be excited for the Pro Series stuff to come out. It kind of bridges the gap a little bit between, you know, the Snake Eater OG line, which is an affordable, great injector. They're made in China, which a lot of people have issues with. And then, you know, people have personal issues with it being made in China, not have issues with the injector. So the Pro Series lineup is all stuff that's either made in Germany or USA. So, you know, there's a whole lot of other parts to it too, but yeah. Sorry, I'm looking like you know, I just put this thing together. I spent the last few days, and I'm like, all right, what is this over here? What is that? You know what I mean? Did I forget this? Did I forget that? How are my spark plugs looking? Because, like, you see, hold on, let me flip the camera. Like these, I had to zip tie together, and they're still kind of rested on the header there a little bit. So it's just all the little stuff like that. The setup, I had a different setup in the Camaro where we actually used where the motor mount bolts in. I've got a mount that mounts the coils right to that spot, which works very well and awesome, but you can only use when you've got a motor plate. We don't have a motor plate in this car. I'm still using factory location mounts, just they're solid motor mounts. So that's not really hot. All these are in and tight. Yeah. Oh, I can feel the breeze. Bum, bum, bum. New Jersey in the house. What's up? What's your opinion on 421? I have no fucking clue what you're talking about. I have never once owned a 421, so I got no opinion. We got some heat in the hoses. I think this should be cooled down enough. We're gonna find out. Yep. Yep, that's good. How's the Elko? Elko is good. So part of the other thing that I've been trying to accomplish and wanting to get this car done is so it can drive out of here under its own power. Once it drives under its own power, I don't give a fuck about that. Once it drives out of here underneath of its own power, then I've got 16 other cars that all need something. We've got, if you guys saw the video, we got glass for the C10, and I believe there should be parts on the way for the C10. We'll talk more about that later. I do have some parts here for the El Camino. And then we've got 2 Camaros, we've got a Dodger, we've got all kinds of stuff. So I'd like to, at least for right now, get this thing running and driving and moving in under its own power, so we can get it out of the garage and I can kind of clean up some of the mess that's been made, organize a little bit better. I want to get our new Texas Speed short block up on a stand. This is their, if you guys didn't see the video, this is the Ruthless Runt, which is a 5.3 that is slightly bored out, so it ends up being like a 332. You know, rod piston kind of deal. And We've got all kinds of goodies. We've got a custom cam specifically for the Nova. But you know, milling, oil pump, and there's all kinds of stuff. But the thought process and the game plan behind that is brand new, good to go, and running urethane trans. Yeah, it does. It has a polyurethane trans mount. So I want to get either a nice set of heads on that motor, you know, either an aftermarket set, or send those other ones off for porting. That one is going to be a little gangster when we can, you know, when we get to doing it. But the big thing is that I want to switch my ECU control over based on the recommendation of my friend to an HP, at minimum an HP, so that way we can he's got more stuff that, you know, Derek's got more stuff that he wants to do, like in advanced tables and more safety features and all that kind of stuff. And he's like, look, if you're finally going to spend money on a decent motor, like spend a little bit more, get an ECU, all that kind of stuff, and let's do our best to be as safe as possible, as long as possible, you know, with the engine. So I'm cool with that. I got no quarrels with that. But it's just, as much as I'm like, ooh, shiny, brand new engine, most badass thing we've ever had, we're going with the backup engine for now. Let's get this thing in, you know what I mean? All that kind of stuff. Run bigger U-joints. You mean U-joints like on the drive shaft? We got 1350 joints on the drive shaft. It's like a 4-inch. Yeah, it's wild. Ronald, what's up? Ronald, you've been keeping Long John. We've been wondering who's been keeping Long John Silver's in business. It's you. Hot damn. So, Eric, yeah, I'm going to be straight up honest with you guys. I have I've got a partnership with Texas Speed, and either they own PRC or whatever the deal is, but if I get it ported, it's going to be through my guys at Texas Speed. They're the ones that I'm going to be using for that, and it would just make sense if it matches the block too. Usually I don't pick a camshaft to tell what heads you're using and airflow numbers. Yeah, well, they did, so I could show you the specs on it. It don't really freaking matter. But I think they did based on, I want to say they did it based on me sending those heads in and having them ported, the LS1 heads. So, whew, man. So I need to find my other little breather thing, and then I need to run a catch can. Not a lot of blow by. Speaking of U-joints, actually, it's funny you mentioned U-joints, because I had to take the drive shaft out of this thing to put everything back in place and put it back in. One of the things that I did when I had the drive shaft out was look at the U-joints. Check them out. What are you gonna... It's crazy. It's crazy. But yes, I did just check those out. So everything looks good there. There's that. Yeah, I mean, there's a couple little things I got to do, but other than that, epoxy the snap clips for peace of mind. Yeah, and then never get them out again? Fuck that. You guys are wild for that. I don't know. I'm feeling pretty good. It's the more and more it runs, the better and better it sounds. I know that what we are going to be running on here shortly in initial testing and stuff is going to be, you know, Holly take the wheel on a lot of stuff, but that's why we get Holly. You got C-clip eliminators? Yeah. Yep, it's got C-clip eliminators, spool, all that. I would say, if anything, the weakest part of this setup right now is going to be the rear end. That's the only part that, like, we haven't beefed up quite a bit. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's got C-clip eliminators, it's got a spool, it's got some decent parts in it, but it's not like a 9-inch or anything like that. So Yeah, check the oil filter for glitter. Yeah, well, we got to run it, and then I got to do an oil change, and I know that there's going to be glitter in it, mostly because some of the stuff that we used um, on this is ooh, spinny spin. Some of the stuff we used is stuff that I've reused, like the oil pan, for example, and the oil feed and cooler lines and the turbo and all stuff that that was in a motor that ate itself and had bearing material also. I did my very best to clean all that stuff out. You know, it's funny. And I apologize because if you're watching right now, I don't remember the name off the top of my head. But if you guys saw the video, I washed the oil pan in the sink, and everybody freaked out and was like, "Oh my goodness, blah 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 blah," and all that. And I'm like, it's not really that big of a deal. But so somebody sent me an Eastwood washer, parts washer. So we got to put that together. That's pretty dope. But I washed out all the lines. I cleaned them with some brake clean. Then I put air through them. Then I like, if there's probably going to be some shavings in the oil. And number one, they're brand new bearings. And number two, we have some used stuff here, so it's not that I don't expect it. I would probably expect the first 2 to 3 oil changes and filter changes to have some material in there. And then after that, I'll start, it's right now, it's not going to worry me. Yeah. So once it's broken in, take an oil sample and send it in. Yeah. So because I got my deal with Hot Shots, what they're going to do is we could take an oil sample. We can take this oil sample straight from this and just keep sending it to them, and they will keep track of everything over time. Every time I change the oil, send them a sample. They'll let me know what's going on inside that engine, which is not going to be super huge and prevalent in this one, this is the L33 5.3, kind of half junkyard build that I did with, I put new bearings in and that kind of stuff. But when we go to put this bad boy in, when we go to put that bad boy in, we're definitely going to be relying on them, pretty heavily for oil analysis, just to be able to see things that we can't see. You know what I mean? When you send them the oil, they break it down to, I don't know, molecular level, I guess is the word. But they're going to see shit that we can't see with the naked eye. And they're going to know about the levels in it and everything. And they'll be able to tell us ahead of time, like, if we're doing oil changes regularly and getting, samples in regularly, and they're like, hey, you might be starting to develop a bearing problem, and it might be something we can get photosynthesis. Yes, photosynthesis. It might be something that we can catch a little bit earlier than we would have caught just on our own. So yeah, but there you guys have it. We heat cycled it. Yeah, that oil sample science is beyond my IQ. Yeah, it's weird. I do a lot of work with Hot Shots, so like I understand it a little more, and some of it is still like, y'all are wild. You know what I mean? So, oh man. Who knows? That might be a parts hand wash sink. Who knows? Yeah, it might be a hand wash sink too. You never know. So I do got one little problem with a little bolt right here that I'm not super happy with. We're gonna have to figure something out about that. But not the end of the world. And not everything can be perfect, as much as I'd love it to be. We don't live in that world. If we waited for perfection, we'd never go racing. But she looks pretty good. We might do an upgraded turbo too. I might get a little bit larger. No, I didn't gap the rings. There's no need to. That's still tight and good. I need to find my other one. We might eventually do a turbo upgrade, because that is an 88, or that's an 80, and we may end up going to the 88. We're We just got to see how that works out. You know what I mean? Right now, the answer is I could keep putting stuff off and keep putting stuff off and keep saving and keep stacking cool, badass parts, which I'm going to be doing anyway. Or I can race with what we've got and enjoy it, because I need some enjoyment. I need some enjoyment. What's up, low key? Was it nice not being rushed? You mean like putting this together? Yeah, it was. It was nice to do it in like, you know, usually I'm like, I gotta thrash and I gotta make something. And right now it's Sunday. We have a race Saturday. So this is like the earliest, you know what I mean, I've ever been slightly prepared. Now we still have to do testing. We still, you know, anything could happen. But it's been nice to just kind of chill out and, you know, just put it together. And even still, I wasn't rushed, and I still forgot the freeze plug because, you know, because I didn't take it out, so I wasn't looking for it. But I should have been paying a little bit more attention to the side of the block, something I never do. So, but even still, that left me with, you know, it was one of those things, like, I had done other stuff with the car and everything, and I like was putting off the freeze plug thing because I'm like, oh, this is gonna be a pain in the ass and all that kind of stuff. And as it turns out, it really took me like 30 minutes, 45 minutes. Like, it really, I made it, you know. And I'm sure you guys get the same thing. Like, sometimes when you're working on a project or something and you're like in your head thinking it's gonna be way worse than it actually is, and then come to find out that, like I said, it took 30 or 45 minutes, and I screwed off and made a, you know, a TikTok, a reel out of it too, and everything else. So it wasn't that bad. I need some tea. I need some tea. Oh man. But man, yeah, it didn't turn out so being. Will the Nova ever be big tire? Nah. Now, the Nova will never be big tire. Number one, because I just don't care to big tire race. I should have. Don't get me wrong. I really should have. Had I been smarter in previous time, like the last few years, I will say they have since gotten better. And it's not the same anymore. But, you know, had I been smart, I could have taken a half-assed car and put it on a big tire and probably done decently well, because a lot of guys just, you know, watch dig or die, and the small tire guys were going faster than the big tire guys. You know, a lot of people just couldn't figure it out. So in retrospect, I should have done that, but I did not. And also, so the Nova is still factory tubbed and all that, you know, leaf spring, factory leaf spring setup, all that. We've got 2 Camaros that could fit a big tire. So if I wanted to do a big tire stuff, I'd just do it with one of the Camaros. I wouldn't do it with the Nova. Also because the Nova is probably the heaviest of the bunch. Fun fact for the day, the Dodger weighs less than the Nova does. So we'll probably, you know, with this being the heaviest of the bunch and everything, with big tire, you got to make so much power, at least on a decent surface. On a crap surface, it doesn't really matter, but it'd be nice to have. Man, oh man, oh man. Look at this thing. This is one sexy beast. So, smalls, yeah. And hopefully, within the next few months, hopefully, we should have something really pretty cool with small tires to show you guys. Maybe a little change of the scenario on the rear tires there. Actually, it's not a maybe. It's happening. They're going into production and everything else. I don't have my hands on it yet, and I can't talk about it yet. But you guys will see that coming too. All right, so all that. Yeah, I can touch this thing by hand now. So really, the only thing stopping me from testing this thing is trans fluid. Well, it's got trans fluid in it, but making sure it's at the right level, double checking the linkage. If you guys heard what I was trying to say earlier when the car was running, the linkage won't go in. Like the little piece that goes in on the side of the plate there, it'll go like halfway in, then it gets stuck. So the thing that I'm thinking, I talked to a friend of mine, he's like, yeah, well, what happens is those plates, they stamp the holes out. You know, it's stamped steel, they stamp the holes out. So it could just be possible that you're not, because like halfway in, it's like beautiful, it's butter, like it's, you know, like I have it properly adjusted. But then it just like gets stuck and it doesn't want to go all the way in. So I may actually have to take that plate off the side of the trans. He said take the plate off, find the drill bit that is the exact size of that hole, and just make sure it's clean, and you know, make sure it's good to go. So we might have to do that still. But trans fluid, linkage, and catch can is really all we got left. So, and then I could test it. It's not a bad deal at all. The only problem is I don't have a catch can. I got the ones, let me show you. I got these, but when I ordered them in 12, because what I learned on the Camaro, or at least I think I've learned, is that the bigger you can have it, you know, the bigger line, the better job you can do of getting that moisture out, the longer it's going to last without milking the oil and all that kind of shit. Excuse me. So I did 12. The problem with that is I don't have a catch can with 12 AN bungs on it. So I either got to take the catch can I have and take it somewhere and weld that up, you know, do some 12 AN bungs on it, or I don't know. We'll figure that out as time comes. Saw you were down at sick week. Any plans to do a drag and drive? I would like to. I think it would be very, very fun. I enjoyed the experience, and I think it would be only even more fun if I did it in a race car and got to race. We did everything but the racing, and I think if I did it in a race car and got to race, it'd be even more fun. Weld some fittings on a pipe and fill it with steel wool, add a drain, and done. Yeah, but you also have to have an atmosphere drain. Like it can't be a closed pipe. It's got to vent to the atmosphere, or else it'll just build up pressure in that pipe for no reason, and it won't actually relieve any of the pressure. You ever think about doing a Matthew McConaughey Dazed and Confused skit with the Nova? All right. I like the way you think. Oh, that's not good. I don't like that. Sorry, just the position of this fuel hose does not have me the happiest. Just kind of the way it is. We have to do something about that. But that's why we're doing this. You stop before we go crazy. Let's take a look at everything. Let's see how it is. Let's see how it's laid out. Do we have any issues? Blah, blah, blah. Are you going to be at the Gut in the month? Absolutely not. I have no plans on going to Texas just yet. I will go to Texas at some point. I really want to. Plus, a couple things. Derek is down there. Brad, Snake Eater Performance, they moved to Texas. So they went from Hawaii to Texas. So I've got a few friends there now that I'd really like to visit. So we will go to Texas eventually. I just don't know when. What oil you run? 5W. This one we did 1540 is what I had sitting here. So we did 1540. I'm not gonna bullshit you guys. I slapped new bearings in. I did not check the clearance, so I don't know what the bearing clearance is and what it would call for and everything anyway. Bulletproof vest, no catch me to get. Usually, I will say this, usually racers and people like myself, you know, that are just there to race, we're not there to you know, be involved in drama or go wild or try to have high dollar grudge races and all that kind of shit. Usually people like that tend to not have problems. Now, it's not always the case. You know, I could be wrong about that, but usually I have no problems. That's why, like, I don't mind going to, you know, the pad and stuff like that, because, like, if you go looking for trouble, you'll find it, but I don't go looking for trouble. So, plus, I have a pretty decent, you know, I was in the military for a while. I went to Iraq and all that. I got a pretty decent spidey sense of, you know, hey, things aren't feeling super good right now. We probably shouldn't be hanging around. You know what I mean? Like, I kind of got a little bit of that intuition. So, just try to keep my wits about me. Fort Worth, Kentucky isn't that thick. It's a little thick. Yeah, it's the oil is a little thick. I wouldn't go for a long time, but I have no problem going nowadays. Yeah, and I think that something that happens too is, like, since the popularity of that track has increased quite a bit, you know, that helps alleviate some of those problems, because, you know, track owners and officials and all that kind of stuff, you know, when the track popularity goes up and whatnot, I generally like to think they try to do a little bit better job of, you know, keeping riffraff out and enforcing rules and that kind of stuff, because they're seeing, like, hey, our track's doing pretty well. We'd like to keep that happening. So, I don't know where I put my other wrench. There's my other wrench. Boom, boom, boom. Yeah, see, I'm gonna have to put this phone down, so I can tighten this while holding it. Putting new bearings, yeah, as riffraff, I am personally offended. Well, you'll have that on the big jobs. Maple wants to know if she can help me. She can come out here, but we're not really, there's nothing really for us to do. I'm just kind of checking stuff, and I'm really unhappy with the way that hose is working right now, unfortunately. But we'll have to take there's only so much I can do. But yeah, she can come out here. Ain't none stopping her. Oh, you know what feels really good? When you get that nice ethanol on a cut. You know what I mean? You got a nice cut on your hand, and then you just run that super nice ethanol onto it. That always feels good. Smells good too. Yeah, my hands have been torn up. For some reason, the last couple days, I've done nothing but cut myself, bleed everywhere. Oh, it's been a rough couple days. Oh, and now it's cold. Oh, now it's really cold. So, there you guys have it. She's a getting there. Let me check these plug wires, because they can be a real nice pain in the behind sometimes. Make sure they're all still good. Yep, that feels good. My high dollar fancy weld job right there. I'll be a fabricator in no time. Let's see. Let's check this one. Yep, she's good. Oh. See, we got one. That's a little... these things can be a pain sometimes. There we go. That thing snap in. I never liked Yellow Belly because they don't keep people out of the starting lines. Yeah, well, that's part of the thing I love about racetracks. Still waiting for burnouts in the driveway. No, we're not doing that. And we're not doing any two-step tests either yet until, because right now the front of the car is still jacked up. Excuse me. The front of the car is still on jack stands. And once I'm done with everything underneath, then I will lower it down. And then we'll do driveway two-step tests and all that kind of fun stuff. But we're not there yet, guys. Patience. Everybody yelling at me to be patient. Now I'm being patient, and everybody's like, why aren't you doing wild, dumb shit like you normally do? Don't worry, it'll all happen. The other thing that maybe I haven't shared with you guys and all that quite yet, like, we have a vast schedule this year. So, like, next month, if I wanted to, next month, I could race every single weekend next month. So, that's also why I'm not, like, in a super rush, because I know that there's going to be plenty of racing to be had. So, I'm not even that worried about it. We're about to go into where life just gets crazy for a while. So, 4-foot jacks to go up, only 4 feet, blah, blah, blah. No, but I have thought about getting 4 foot. Are you talking about like the quick jacks or whatever? Like the pneumatic ones that, like, I've thought about those. Double check everything. Yep, I'm just double checking. So, all right, well, I'll hit you guys with a couple more. If you guys got any more questions, whatever, I'm gonna get back to work on this thing because I don't know. Like I said, I got some buddies that I know want to go testing, and I don't know when they're gonna be ready to go testing, but I want to be ready. So if they're like, hey, we're ready to go, I'm not like, oh, well, I still got this and this and this and this to do. I'd like to be at a point today where when I am done working on the car today, it is ready to go testing, or at least, to the point where I think it's ready to go testing, and then we'll go test and figure out if everything's okay and all that kind of shit. So, how's the Elko coming? I already talked about that. We got to get shit out of the way so we can get other cars in. Go live. I will not be going live while testing. We will not do that. We never do that. But it will be in a video, I'm sure. I'm really unhappy with this hose, so I gotta figure out something I can do here. Just the way this feed hose comes in, it's a super short piece of line and it wants to get like bound up. And I would like to, there we go, free that up a little bit so it's not super bound up. There we go. I like that a lot better. See? It only took 6 times of messing with it before it made me happy. There we go. That's much better than it was. Run it part throttle and shift gears before 2-step and trans brake stuff? No. We just pull it out in the driveway and we put it on the trans brake and then we just do pops and bangs. What's up, meatball? What are you doing? Nothing. There really isn't a lot that you can help with. Unless you want to wash windows. You want to wash windows?
Yes.
All right. Are you going to make it to Berkeley Springs? That is not one place that's on my schedule. I'm not saying I won't make it there, but It's not something that I have planned at this exact moment. I think the C10 would make a perfect tow vehicle for the Nova. Absolutely no, it would not. There's nothing comfortable about that thing. You have to understand that when I tow the Nova, we're going sometimes 12, 14, 16 hours. Like, we need comfort. Oh, there we go. Glass cleaner. So maybe for something local, yeah, it'd be cool to tow with it. But if I'm towing with something, I want comfort. All right, you ready? Yeah. Do you want to climb up here on the car? All right. Let me put this down. There you go. We got window washer extraordinaire. There you go. Perfect. Get that window super clean. Shut the gate and make all the boost. No, we've got an air compressor on board now that we can do some of that with. Ella, I don't think that you have much experience cleaning windows, do you? This might be your first adventure into this world. Yeah. You all right, babe? Here, now do this one. Now use that one and do it all over again. Yeah.
Wax on, wax off.
Yeah, wax on, wax off, kind of. And don't fall into the turbo hole. How was the trip home from sick week? Completely and entirely uneventful. Honestly, it sucked. But not for any particular sick week reasons. I was having some issue. If you guys really care to know, but if you know what fistulas are, they're really, really fun. So I had gotten one of those, and it made for a miserable drive home. All right, y'all done? All right, don't touch the glass. No, don't put your hands on the glass. Come here. I'll help you. Come here, I'll help you. Come here, I'll help you. I got you. Oh. No, this is a VS80. Do you want to do the side ones? Here. There you go. Oh, here. Look at that. Coming to life. Whew. You're getting it. You know what we need to do? Where's my... You can't do that part, but I can once I find where I had set... Where did I set my razor blade down? It's not in that box. We got some gunk on that window that we need to hit that thing with a razor blade. But I don't remember where I set my razor blade down. Keep up the good work. Thank you, Bruce. What are you doing? Nothing. I'm not doing nothing. Everybody, I get it all the time. I get a lot of questions, like people asking me about parts and this, that, and the other. Like, I am not selling anything unless I say I'm selling something. Part of what I do with, I got one right here. I found mine. With YouTube and racing and all that and everything, like, I have to keep parts around. So if I get some wild, stupid idea like, hey, we should do this, I have parts to do that with. So generally, I try not to sell a bunch of stuff, because it's usually when I sell it that it is when I end up needing it again. Look at that. Babe, if you're watching, can I get 2 gold Pro Series stickers? Oh, she is watching. We need 2 gold Pro Series stickers for the sides right here. We gotta go bam, Pro Series right there. Steel wool. I'm gonna put halos in the Nova. Like, like halo headlights. No, I don't give a shit about headlights in this thing as long as they work. You coming to Ohio this year? Yeah, so part of what I'm doing, we haven't made the announcement yet, but I can tell you guys. SHITBOX Supply and Sneak Eater Performance are sponsoring World Series of No Prep, and we will be attempting to make as much of those World Series of No Prep races as humanly possible. I'm not saying we're going to be at all of them, but we are going to attempt. All right, you ready? I think I got it all off. Now go ahead and wipe her down. Yeah, there we go. Look at that. Coming out pretty good, meatball. Something must be wrong. We got time to clean windows. We're not thrashing to make the race next weekend. Oh, man. This is a whole different life. I'm not used to this experience. You want to do the other side now? All right, let's go do the other side. Well, oh, look, this window's up too, so we can do all of this. Here you go. And then we'll go. Bam. Fancy? Fancy. I know how that goes. Yeah, I'm sure everybody gets on the same kind of page when you get rid of stuff. Oh, look, and my boy just sent me a picture of a street with burnout, marks down it. Is that on the inside when it's all messed up? Oh, yeah, that is dirty on the inside. That's a problem. Yeah, I'll wipe it down. We'll get it. Which probably means he wants me to come out testing. So we'll have to do that. Of course, but where do we get more info on World Series of No Prep? All right. Let me close that. There you go. Now keep wiping. You can get more info on World Series of No Prep through Ohio Grudge Racing. Josh Robinson does that. He's in charge. You want to do the inside too? Yeah, I think the inside's pretty dirty. So a lot of that information, I believe, is going to be on Facebook. This is going to be the best place to find it. But Ohio Grudge Racing, Josh Robinson, he's the man with that plan. All right, let me see something. Because see, so what happens, you see how your paper towel is dirty? So you can't clean something with a dirty paper towel. So you got to get a new one, okay? On that box, on the stool over there, go get a new one. Because then you're going to be leaving streaks and like all this stuff is all streaky and whatnot. It's because it's dirty. There you go. Now wipe it down with the clean one. Yep, you use one to get the dirt off, and then you'll come back with another one, make it clean. So that's where you guys can get World Series of No Prep stuff. World Series of No Prep includes both War in the Woods races. We cannot make both War in the Woods races. The first one I can't make. We got a prior obligation on that. A prior schedule thing. So hold on, I gotta get out of this window measurement. And my busted tape measure. But we won't be able to make both of them, but the second one I know we will be good to make. All right, so we've got probably, I don't know, that window, I mean, because it's going to be kind of tall too. So we've got probably 16 inches long to play with, I think. 16 puts us there. Yeah, that'll do nice depending on how big it is, like how tall it ends up being. But 16 inches wide will probably do us right. What are you doing, meatball? No, don't step in there. Don't step in there. Here, you want to do this window? I'll put this one up. Oh, yep, that one's dirty too. Hold on, that one we gotta hit with the razor blade too. You got your paper towel? Did you ever get rid of your RV? Nope. Nope. I've not been able to get rid of the RV, unfortunately. At this point, I wouldn't mind, mostly because I want to, like, I do want to get rid of a bunch of stuff, try to consolidate some things, but I have not been able to get rid of that yet, or the white Camaro, and those are like 2 on my current list of things that I would be willing to get rid of. There we go. Well, we're getting a little razor blade action going here. 4 inches tall. Yeah, that's fine. Hold on. Let me finish. Watch out. Let me finish scraping it first, and then I'll get you to wipe it all down. I think we just got some overspray on here. That's all that is. All right, you want to spray it again? Yeah. Okay. Just a little bit, though. Don't go crazy. No, absolutely not. I'll answer that question for her. She does not do stickers for other people. I'm fortunate enough. Yeah, you got it. Go ahead. Oh, that's enough. Yeah, it was a little too much. That's all right. You didn't know. I'm lucky enough to get my stickers made. Looking good, Meatball. How did we find out about the white car? If you look me up, Matt Ryce on Facebook, I just actually shared the for sale post today because I'm trying to get rid of that damn thing so I can get started on the other Camaro, which I think is going to be a much better version of what I wanted to do. All right, watch out. I gotta scrape a little more right there. Bam, bam, bam. Get some of that overspray off. All right, you're up, Meatball. There you go. Oh, man, oh, man. What's better on the street, a 2-speed or a 3-speed? I don't know. That's personal preference stuff. I still don't know where I'm happy yet. And what I mean by that is, like, I had the 400 in the Camaro, and then I've always had a Glide in the Nova. I like the Glides, but there's rear gear ratio, there's other things that come into effect. So, like, I'm gonna be straight honest with you guys. Like, I'm just playing with shit, trying to figure it out, of like how I want to do certain things. What I mean by that, like, right now, the Nova has a 373 gear and a power glide. So if you do the math on a starting line ratio of whatever 180 times 373, all that kind of shit, it's going to have an effect on the way the car works. Now, the thing that I like about the 373 gear is we can hit it really, really hard, and we don't get a lot of wheel speed off the front. So for like back half of the track kind of stuff, I feel like I have really good control of the wheel speed with the 373 and the 180 first gear and all that. Could I still have it with 410s? Could I have it with 454s, 488s? I don't know. I could. I'm still playing and figuring out myself what all I want to do and how I want to do it and what works best for me. So, we'll get that, you know, we'll just make that work however we can. What's up? What are you doing? You want to start it? You don't want to start it? What RPM do you shift your power glide? It depends. LS setup in the car here, we're gonna shift roughly 7,200. I think is what we're trying to shoot for. You want to fire it up, Ella? No? Why? You don't like the loud noise? Yeah. So yeah, so I think with this setup will be about 7,200 for shift. You're gonna be faster and win a race, but it's not as easy as just changing the trans and not changing everything behind it. Yeah, because you gotta, you know, 400 and glide is 2 different lengths and drive shafts and all that kind of stuff. So I don't know. Personally, I enjoy the glide. I also, I don't know if you guys can see, we now have bam electronic shifter in the car. So that's going to make my life somewhat easier. And I'll be able to keep both hands on the steering wheel instead of having to shift. I mean, it's probably going to take a while to break that habit. And then also, like, if you watch, like Nick Pluniak, if you guys have ever seen in-car footage, he'll make the shift. Like, the car will make the shift, and then he will still put his hand on it and just make sure that it actually did. Nice. I'm 33. I don't know. We got some mad haters in the building. Probably just mad because they try to post videos and nobody watches them. It happens. I get it. Hello from Memphis. Keep up the hard work. Thank you, Gregory. Thank you. 33. Yep. Good old 33. Old enough to know better, still too young to care. Something like that. Yeah. You found my gummies, my Choli sour crawlers. Are they delicious? Are you gonna eat one? All right, I guess. Only if you start the car up. You have to start the car to get a candy. Okay, you gonna start the car? All right. Ready? So, the second red light, hit the top one. Oh, hold on. Second, yep, let me see. Yep, hit the top one. Okay. All right, now this one, you hold it until the car starts. And then once it starts, you let it go, okay? All right. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. She still don't like a loud car yet. All for a piece of candy. You want to hit the gas pedal? No, you don't want me to go vroom vroom? Alright, do you want to shut it off? Alright, that's second. Oh, here, mommy got you some. Do you want these? Will that be better? There we go. There it is. You want to hit the gas pedal? No? No gas pedal? Alright, not yet. She ain't there yet, guys. Alright. So that second one, yep, shut it off. Yep, that one. Now you can hit all the other ones off too. Yep. Yep. Bam. There you go. Future crew chief. Yeah, she's got to get over her fear of loud car though. Like she's still, I don't know why, but she's still like, Loud noises. Yeah. What fuel pump you running now? I've got the Magna Fuel 750 in here. We've got a single Magna Fuel 750, so we'll see how that goes. Hey Matt, where are you going to be testing? I don't know, somewhere. Yeah, we'll figure it out. So, woo! That cold ethanol-y. Look at that. But there you guys have it. Fires right up. Very nice. Very happy with that. Decals will be done in 10. Hot damn, look at that. So I'm going to close this bad boy down. I'm going to get back up with my friends who wanted to go testing. And we'll figure out what's going on there. And it's starting to get a little chilly outside. Kids' ears are sensitive to about 12 years old. Yeah. Gotcha. Yeah, she was much happier with the... But I don't think... I mean, it could just be me. It's not that loud in the car. No? It's not that loud in the car? No, it's not, but it's solid motor mounts, so when you're sitting in it, everything's shaking, and I can understand. As a kid, that would be intimidating. You know what I mean? Solid motor mounts, the thing's shaking. It's bum, 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 bum. There's a giant freaking turbo sticking out of the hood. Like, yeah. Yeah. So, all right, well, look, guys, I'm going to jump off here so I can start getting up with my friends, getting this sorted, get figured out. Are we going testing? What are we doing? How are we doing it? It's unpredictable. Yeah, I can understand. I can get it. I would, my thing is, I would think with as much as I do this and as much as they're around it, like, they would just be broken of that by now, but it is what it is. It takes time. I get it. Get some of this stuff off the window. Snacks are more predictable. Snacks are definitely more predictable. So, all right, I'll see you guys next time. I'm going to jump off here and, yeah, finish up what I need to finish up so we can take this thing and go make some rips. I got to figure out how much fuel I've got and all that kind of stuff. Do I even have enough fuel to go testing, or do I got to go make that run first? So, all right.